Now you set up an isolated trade, you check your liquidation price, and it was safe, so you went to sleep, but you woke up getting liquidated. And here's the thing, the price never hit your liquidation level. You checked the chart and it wasn't even close. So what exactly happened? Something was draining your margin while you were asleep and you didn't even know it existed. Now let me show you what exactly might kill you. Let's understand what isolated margin actually means. We did talk about this in the last video, so if you missed it, I'll tag it on the top right corner, but just for the sake of new audience, we're going to do a quick recap. So on isolated mode, when you open a trade, think of it like putting money into a bucket. If I have 3,000 sitting in my account, this trade cannot touch it. So far so good, right? You're probably thinking, great, I'll just set my isolated trade and forget about it. Now here's the myth, and this is what gets people killed. There's a bat attached to your trade, and every 4 hours, 8 hours, or even sometimes 1 hour, it takes a little bite. Now see this? Funding rates. And there's a countdown timer next to it. When that timer hits 0, one of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to pay other traders or they're going to pay you depending on the market condition. But for the time being, let's not worry about that. Just know sometimes you owe money, sometimes you receive money. But here's the problem. Let's say funding goes against me. I owe $1, but my wallet is empty. I put everything into the trade. Where does the exchange take that $1 from? And this is where it's going to be taken, from my bucket. So think about this. You started with a $10 margin. Let's say the funding fee is at $1. When your margin was $10, your liquidation price was safe. Imagine now my margin is at $9. Because your margin decreased, you have less collateral for this trade, your liquidation price point is going to move closer to the current price. The gap between the current price and my death just got smaller. And here's the scary part. Sometimes the price didn't move at all. The price just entered a long phase of consolidation. Imagine if you go on a holiday and left a trade open. Every 4 or 8 hours, this bat is taking a bite away from your margin. As you're enjoying your holiday, your liquidation price keeps creeping closer and closer. And then one small red candle or one wick, you're out of your trade without even knowing. And the worst part is that you're going to come back, check the price, realizing that the price never hit your original liquidation level, but it hits your new liquidation level. And that's what kills a lot of isolated traders who set and forget. So here, I'm going to show you with lesser margin what's going to happen to the same trade. So as you can see here, with the same trade, same entry price, when your margin is reduced, your liquidation price point is going to move closer to you. Now, I'm not saying that you're always going to be paying, but look at the funding rate and ask yourself, is this a short scalp or is this a long-term position? So if you're planning on holding for more than 24 hours, then you have to know you're going to experience 3 funding phase, which in this case, we're talking about either receiving 0.005% or paying 0.005% depending on the rate and how often funding rate occur in this pair. Now, before we continue, I wanted to point out that getting liquidated from your trade because your margin was eaten up by funding rate, it's very rare when you're mostly trading big cap token. However, in some extreme cases with very small cap token, this could happen, but I still want to make sure that you put a good foundation so you know how this game is played. So how do you survive the drain? First thing, there's no magic shield. On most exchanges, including WEEX, funding pulls directly from your isolated margin. There's no way to redirect it. So you have 2 options. Option 1, do the math before you enter. Look at the funding rates. Look at the timer. If that math puts your liquidation price in the danger zone, either size your position smaller or skip the trade entirely. Option 2, manually add margin. Now look at this button. You can add margin to your position whenever you want. If funding just hit and your liquidation price moved closer, click here, add a little more margin so that you're manually refilling the bucket before it runs dry. Remember guys, the key is to do this before the next funding hits. Set a reminder, check your position, understand who's paying who. Are you the one who's getting paid or are you the one who's paying others? Do not let the bat drain your wallet while you're asleep. And here's something that catches people off guard. Not every pair has the same funding schedule. Bitcoin Ethereum usually charges every 8 hours, 3 times a day. That's manageable. But some of these new tokens, these fresh listing, they charge every hour. That's 24 funding periods in a day instead of 3. So the drain is going to be 8 times faster. So the last thing I want to hear is that you think you did the math for an overnight hold, but you used the wrong schedule. Now you know something 90% of the traders learned the hard way. In the next video, we're going to talk about cross margin, where your trades aren't in separate buckets anymore. They're all connected. Alright, that's what I have for you guys in this video. If you found this helpful, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share it. And I'll see you in the next video.